Hey, what's up, everybody? So what is this video about? Well, I want to talk about buying silver or gold or whatever precious metal you like versus bad spending habits. And I want to talk a little bit about how I changed my spending habits to be able to afford certain precious metals that I like. So to me, buying silver or gold or whatever precious metal is not really for me about SHTF. I don't really buy into the SHTF situations, but rather a protection in case that were to happen, or protection against inflation, protection against the dollar collapse. But I want to talk about. See, I mean, I'm not by any means a rich person. I'm probably not even considered lower middle class. So I have to do a lot of saving to be able to afford these precious metals, even the ones you see before you now. And I had to make a lot of changes to be able to afford certain things like this. And like going out to eat every day. I used to be the one who would go out, during lunch at work and go out and pick up, fast food, or go to a family style restaurant and go pick up, a burger and fries, or something like that. But then I started to look at it, and once you add up how much money you're spending, if you're spending from $5 to $8 to $10 for lunch, or even if you go out for dinner or whatever, it's always nice to treat yourself every now and then, but look at it as a treating yourself versus a everyday expense, and look at how much money you're going to save on your way to work or on your way to school, instead of stopping at, one of the hot spot coffee places and spending $2 or $3 on a coffee. Buy a coffee machine and make it right before you leave the house, in the morning. And you're going to spend a fraction of what that coffee costs. I used to, years ago, I used to buy expensive, gym shoes and, the hottest new shoe coming out. But as you get older, I think you get a little bit wiser, and start spending your money more, wisely, versus, after you spend that $200 or whatever on a pair of shoes, and then you have to throw them away, after 6 months to a year, or whatever. I have no problem spending, $30 on a pair of shoes versus, and those $30 pair of shoes wear out the same way that the $200 pair of shoes, but you're saving a whole lot more money. And it's, instead of going to a fancy steakhouse, go out and buy your own steak and buy your potatoes and bake them yourself, versus going out and spending, depending on the kind of steak it is, you're spending, $15 to $20 to $30 for one person to eat. So those are the kind of changes that I made. Like, my family, a lot of people in my family like smoothies, right? And when you look at how much a smoothie costs, it's what, $6, $7, depending on, the place you go to order it. I bought a Vitamix, and I bought this Vitamix about 10 years ago. How many smoothies do you think I got out of that Vitamix versus how many $6 smoothies in 10 years do you think I got out of that Vitamix that was roughly between $300 and $400? So those are the kind of changes that I made. And not only that, not only saving from the spending habits, but also credit cards, right? I would never ever advise people to buy precious metals or even get a credit card for that matter, because it takes a lot of discipline to be able to use a credit card and to pay that balance off versus versus paying interest. So, but I use three different credit cards. I have a travel card. I have a travel card that can either be redeemed for travel or cash, or for cash. And then I have another credit card that's just cash, for cash rewards. So after a certain amount of time, I redeem those points, you know, for cash and translate that into precious metals. And I made a video on just that topic, about credit cards or how I get free silver and gold. And I do that with the credit card points. But in order to be able to do that, it's not worth it unless you're able to pay off that balance every month. Because if you're paying interest, then it's kind of defeating the purpose of having a credit card. But not only that, but a lot of, when you go to a store and you go and buy food or clothing or shoes, it's already baked into those prices, the credit card fees. The credit card, the banks are charging 3%, 4%, to the store or retailer, when you use the credit card, and they already jacked up the price, to offset that fee. So I use the credit card, to my advantage, because they're already charging you that. So why not get that money back, in terms of a cash rewards on the credit card? So and also, the other thing that I do to save up for precious metals is collecting, soda cans or pop cans or whatever side of the world or country you're on. It's either soda cans or pop cans. And so I also collect those, to be able to save up a little bit more. Now, granted, that takes up a lot of time, and there's very little reward for doing that. But every time you see a can on the ground, you pick it up, or a bottle, and you put it to the side, and it adds up over time. So those are some of the things that I've done over the course of the last 3, 4, 5 years or more, to try to save up to be able to afford these here precious metals. And I don't buy a whole lot of stuff like this in slabs. I don't really believe in it, but I do buy it when it's the same price as buying the raw version. And some of this stuff has a little bit more premium than others, but I don't mind spending the premium from time to time, because I know, if I spend $4 over spot for a bar like this, I know that I didn't use that $4 in some other way that's just gonna go, to the wayside, such as, buying that McDonald's hamburger or buying that expensive piece of coffee. I can look at the money that I spent. This is always going to be with me until I sell it. And when and if I do decide to sell it, I'm going to be able to get at least, most of my money back, if not all of my money back. Or if spot goes up high enough, then I'll get all my money back, versus the reckless spending that I used to do. So, and again, with the Lunar Series, a little bit of a higher premium, but from time to time, I don't always buy stuff like this, but from time to time, I rather treat myself in stuff like this versus the reckless spending. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section what you guys think about that. Maybe you do a little bit of the same. I think most of us in this community are more like-minded than not. But let me know what you guys think. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll talk to everybody on my next video. Thanks a lot, everyone.